Hi there, my name is Will and today I'm going to walk you through how you can get started with Kestra. Kestra is a unified orchestration platform designed to help you with your mission critical workflows and help you govern them either via code or from the UI. To install Kestra, we can simply run this quick command inside of our terminal, which will spin up an instance of Kestra, but the database will not be persistent. So what I would recommend is using a Docker Compose file like the example that we have in GitHub that will make sure that you get a database set up and all of the resources you need to get Kestra running. I have the Docker Compose set up here on my local machine, so now if I just type Docker Compose up in the same directory as it, I will see that it will pull the Kestra image. I will now be able to head over to localhost 8080 and now I'll be able to access Kestra. Now that we have Kestra set up, let's go through a couple of concepts that we need to be able to build our first workflow. To do this, let's click on Create My First Flow. Now inside of here, we've got a number of different things. To begin with, every workflow requires three properties: an ID, which is the name of the workflow, the namespace, which is where you're going to organize your workflow, and a list of tasks. And each of these tasks also have an ID as well as a type. Tasks may also have additional properties too, which we can view by going to the documentation tab and then clicking on that task to be able to view different properties for that task. And as we can see here, message is a required property, but level is optional. Now I have a slightly different example here that's using the Python commands task here to allow us to run some Python code. But in order to do that, I need to add my Python code directly to Kestra, which I can do by heading over to Files and creating it as a new namespace file. I can click on Create File here and I can type in the name of our file, which is stars.py. I can easily copy and paste that in like so, and now I can switch back to my workflow. Now, in order to make sure that our task can access our namespace files, we need to add the namespace files property and set that to true so that it can access it. Now we can just specify a command like we would on our local machine for running the Python code. So when I press execute now, we'll see that it's going to run our Python code successfully. And as we can see here, it was able to get the number of GitHub stars. However, this is just a log message. We can't use this very easily for later tasks. So let's have a look at what an output is and how we can use that. Now jumping back to our Python code, we can use the Kestra Python module to let us generate an output. And put simply, an output is a data generated by a task that we can then use downstream, whether that's a variable or a file. Now in this example, we want to be able to access that variable GitHub stars and send it back to Kestra. So we can do that by putting it into a dictionary so we can access it as a key value pair. Now with this, I can now add an additional task that's going to use that output. So let's add a log message here that will use it. And as we can see here, by using an expression, which is what we have inside of these brackets here, we can reference our output by doing outputs.the ID of our task, .vars, and then the name of the output. So when I execute this now, not only will we be able to see this in the outputs tab, we will also be able to see our log message successfully print out the number. So there's the log message, and we can also see here that we've got it as a variable inside of the task. We can take this one step further. Instead of sending it as a log message, we can instead send it as a notification to Slack. This is useful if you want to get regular updates about something and you want to be able to send them directly from your workflow to your platform. In this example, in the text field here of the Slack notification, I'm able just to put in the expression for our output, which will then send it to us. And for being able to send that webhook URL without putting it in my workflow, I can put that inside of the key value store. I can simply go to namespaces, team, and then add my key value store pair in here simply. And just like that, I can add my webhook value in right here. Now, when I execute this, we'll see that it's going to generate the value from our Python code, but then send the output to Slack like this. And as we can see, we got our Slack message with the value. So this is fantastic if you want to be able to send data in real time to your notification platforms. The last step to making our workflow fully automated is adding a routine schedule using a trigger. This is fantastic if we want to be able to get the number of GitHub stars every day and send it to us at midnight. So let's send that now by adding a trigger at the bottom of our workflow. As you can see here, we have the trigger block defined at the bottom here, and we can specify a cron expression to specify exactly when we want it to send. Now I can actually update this cron expression to use daily here, and now that's going to send it to us every day at midnight UTC. And I can actually go to the triggers tab here and see that it's going to execute in 12 hours, which will be 12 AM. Now that we've got this working, we can take this a step further. At the moment, we're having to add our Python code directly to Kestra, but by being able to automate this, it would be more convenient if we could pull this directly from a Git repository so that any changes that are made to the file can be pulled automatically to Kestra so that we're using the most up-to-date code. We can introduce a new concept here called an input to allow us to pass in what the GitHub repository is at execution. So if we want to change which repository we're using, or maybe clone a different file, we can easily do that when we press the execute button and specify the URL here. Now, we can use a working directory here, which will create us a directory where we can clone our Git repository and then have our Python task access the file directly. First things first, we're going to need to add a git clone task to clone the repository, and then we can add our Python code in later. If I execute this, we'll see that it's going to clone the repository, and we can access those files here using the Outputs tab. As you can see here, I've got the Python code that we were using earlier already in my Git repository. So if I do make any changes, we can make sure that Kestra is getting these, and I haven't got to manually go and update the code inside of Kestra. What I've done now is add our Python task in like we had earlier, but this time I've removed the namespace files property because we're not using the namespace files anymore, and I've modified that commands property to get the correct directory inside of that repository. As we can see here, it's inside of demos, getting started 2025, and then stars.py. So I've got the correct path here to make sure we can access that file. Now, if I press execute, we're going to see it's going to clone that repository and then use the most up-to-date version of that code. And if I go to outputs, we can see that it did generate the correct number despite the fact that the code didn't start inside of Kestra. So here we've got the full example now. We have an input that allows us to pass in a value at execution that our workflow will use. Followed by that, we are using a working directory to set up a directory that we can clone our Git repository in and have our Python task access. We then clone the repository, and the Python task can then execute our Python code and generate the outputs that we need. We can then send that output to our Slack task that will then let us send a message with the data. But we can automate the whole process by using a trigger here at the bottom that will run every day at midnight UTC. So we've created a full workflow here that will automatically run, it will automatically pull our code from GitHub and execute it to get us values. Fantastic if you've got a script that you need to run that collects a bunch of data on a recurring schedule. If you're interested to learn more about Kestra, I'd recommend checking out the tutorial series which you can find here, and I'd also recommend joining our Slack community where you can discuss with us further about how you plan to use Kestra.